Welcome to the Wear, Wag, Repeat podcast. I'm Tori Mystic. As a dog mom lifestyle expert, blogger, and business owner, I love talking to other women in the pet industry and sharing their advice with you every week. Sit, stay, and listen to the latest episode. On this episode, I'm continuing coverage of Pet Dental Health Awareness Month by talking with Dr. Emily Stein, the co-founder and inventor of Teeth. So many pet dental health products only address plaque and tartar buildup on the surface of the teeth, but Emily found that it's important to treat the area below the gum line. Teeth has won recognition and awards since launching in May of last year, and thanks to recent press coverage, it completely sold out. But don't worry, it is back in stock now. Emily is an inspiring dog mom who decided to think outside the box and come up with a solution for a problem that many dog owners have. That's a common theme that I've seen across many of my interviews on this show. Do you want to connect with more disruptors, game changers, and problem solvers who are as obsessed with dogs as you are? Join the Wear, Wag, Repeat Labs Facebook group. We call it a lab because it's a great place to experiment, learn, and discover new ideas for your pet industry business. Just search Facebook for Wear, Wag, Repeat Labs and request to join today. Dr. Emily Stein first developed a fascination with the microbial universe in college at the University of Iowa. She pursued this passion to the University of California, Berkeley, where she sharpened her understanding of how bacteria behave and survive in tough environments. After she earned her PhD, she attended Stanford University to pursue a postdoctoral fellowship in immunology and rheumatology after witnessing the degradation of her grandmother's quality of life because of rheumatoid arthritis. Inspired by her rescue dog Tinsley, who came to her with horrendous oral health from years of neglect, Emily used her expertise to invent Teeth. It's a water additive that empowers good bacteria and outcompetes the bad bacteria for a naturally balanced, healthier mouth. Hi, Emily.
Hello.
I'm excited to talk to you all about Teeth. I met you back at Super Zoo last year. So, I know that you guys won awards there and everything for how innovative your product is. Can you tell us just how Teeth works exactly?
Yeah, sure. So Teeth works, the formula that we've come up with is called Protectin 42. And that's basically, we're solely focused on keeping 42 teeth in a dog's mouth throughout their lifetime. So a lot of people don't understand that 60% of the tooth of that is actually below the gum line. So we're taught to brush the dog's teeth and to give them toys or chews that really work to mechanically get that plaque and tartar off the tooth surface, but all the products on the market are not built to go below the gum line. So this formula is explicitly focused on 360-degree whole mouth health, even below the gum line. And it's this 4 simple ingredients that are nutrients that work in a 2-pronged approach. The first approach is to block the bacteria from eating carbohydrates and sugars. Because they then turn that immediately into things that cause inflammation of the gum tissue or additional plaque and tartar. And then the second prong is to feed the beneficial microbes through use of vitamin and an amino acid, which start to eat instead and break down protein, which creates a much more healthier microenvironment in the mouth and grows beneficial microbes. So the total overall result is to stop the growth of harmful microbes like E. coli, salmonella, things that make that stinky dog smell, and then simultaneously grow the beneficial ones to help protect the dog's health.
Yeah, it's so interesting. I think that people are kind of catching on to the concept of probiotics and prebiotics for like their gut health. And so I think that it sounds like you're sort of doing a similar thing, but focus on the mouth before it actually gets down to the gut area.
Correct. Yeah. So a lot of people are familiar with like leaky gut. And that's a lower GI condition where, you have too many bad organisms in the GI tract, and that causes leakiness and inflammation of the lining of the gut. Well, the thing actually, it happens in the mouth too. It's called gingivitis and bleeding gums, and it's just a lot less commonly discussed, but it's been happening, and it's been relegated to, I think, the world of dentistry for so long, but now us microbiologists are kind of coming in and pushing the reset button on how we think about the microbiome and overall health and inflammation. And so this is we're really driving, trying to change the dialogue and how we think about oral health and oral hygiene.
Yeah. And so right now in February, it's Pet Dental Health Awareness Month. And that's something that I always try to promote on my blog and social media and everything, because dental health is related to like pretty much everything else in your entire body. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Absolutely. So oral hygiene has been linked to everything from autoimmune diseases, like my grandmother had rheumatoid arthritis, lupus. It's been linked to lupus, or psoriasis, psoriatic arthritis, all the way to certain kinds of cancers, most recently pancreatic cancer in humans. In dogs, it's linked to some cancers. It's linked to liver problems, kidney problems, even dementia in dogs.
Wow.
So it's a real systemic, it's the mouth. When you think about it, the mouth is connected to everything. It's the opening of the body that solely takes in food and new experiences, right? And all new ingredients, liquid and solid, are taken up through that mouth. And so it's the gateway to the body. And how healthy the mouth is connected to, the rest of the body. So the lower GI tract definitely is linked. And what we've seen, even, we're recalibrating and rebalancing the oral microbiome to make it a healthier microbiome. But we're also seeing benefits then in some dogs that have had irritable bowel of really, improving gut function in those dogs. So it's really cool, actually.
Yeah, it's super interesting. I think that, when people hear Dental Health Awareness Month, like maybe it doesn't sound that exciting to them.
It's not.
And they just think about teeth or like bad dog breath or something. But it really relates to pretty much everything, which is amazing.
Yeah. So when you think about it, bacteria know no boundaries, and they are so tiny, and there are so many. In fact, the mouth is the second most diverse, most abundant source of microbes in the animal and mammal body. So we're talking, it's chock full of microbes. And for instance, every single kiss, it transfers millions of bacteria between you and your dog, or you and another human being. And so just think about that.
Interesting. Maybe we shouldn't release this around Valentine's Day.
Just pop a little teeth. You drink a little teeth, swish it around, you'll be fine.
So I'm curious. I know that you have a human product, but then Teef is the pet product. And what inspired you to, create something for pets specifically?
Yeah, so I was already working on the human product because my grandmother had a stroke after she had a couple of teeth pulled because of her rheumatoid arthritis progressed so badly that she could no longer brush her own teeth. And when she was, I was at Stanford, and she was back in Wisconsin in assisted living, and I didn't know that they didn't take care of people's teeth if, people weren't able to take care of them themselves. So it was a huge learning opportunity for me in my grandmother's oral health crisis. So I biohacked my grandmother's mouth, and then figured out the initial approach, put it in something as simple as a dental mint so my grandma could suck on it after she ate something or drank something and she needed to clean her teeth. So that was already in process. We were, in the market for that. And then about 4 years after finished that, I rescued Tinsley. And I just, I'm soft spot for black and white Cocker Spaniels. And I saw her. She was an older dog on the SPCA website up in middle of Washington State, and I was still living in the Bay Area at the time. And I just kind of fell in love with her. She had one of those cute, ugly faces, and I was just afraid she wasn't going to get rescued because 75% of older dogs with don't get rescued, mainly due to the cost associated with their care, and a significant portion of that is actually dental problems. And so Tins was one of those dogs, and so I cashed in my frequent flyer miles, went up there, got her. They warned me about her breath, but holy cow, it was insanely potent. I had to rent a car to drive us back down to the Bay Area, and I had to roll down every single window.
Oh my goodness.
To get us. It was so horrendous. And then
that's bad. The
really
only
bad.
time I've ever had to roll all the windows down is like when my dogs have rolled in deer.
Yep.
Deer or something.
Yeah, I understand completely. But this was it smelled like death. And in fact her health declined significantly within the day and a half drive, to the point where I had to make an emergency vet visit for her. We had to remove 21 teeth in that visit, and she was she was on many months of antibiotics.
That's half of her teeth.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow.
And she'd already lost a couple of teeth before that, so she didn't have many teeth left. And it turns out that the bacteria from her mouth had spread to the rest of her body. So she was actually had sepsis, which is a bloodstream infection, and she she could have died. So in that emergency vet visit, it was $6,000 on my credit card. Luckily, I had $6,000 of space on my card to save her life, but it was
really,
it was rough.
Yeah, I could see how a lot of people wouldn't be able to afford that, and they would have to make a different decision. Yeah.
And so a lot of dogs actually go into, I'm finding this out through our Give Back program, but a lot of dogs are going into shelters at the older ages because their pet parents can no longer afford their care, which is really sad when you think about it.
I think it's so sad. Yeah. Yeah. Well, I'm a big senior rescue advocate. So, any way that we can help them feel better, or, something like this, like, people, I think you have to, buy a new product such as teeth or whatever it is that you're using as like a preventative, but it cuts down on, like you said, like a $6,000 bill that you might have at the emergency vet.
Yeah. And emergency vets are expensive. And, even a dental cleaning these days it's expensive. So, and, it's not good to have multiple dental cleanings for the dog every year because of the anesthesia. So, and the risks associated with that. But it is really important. So we were trying to build products basically that are entirely safe, but actually work, are carbohydrate free, because a lot of the dental treats on the market are laden with carbohydrates, which just actually contributes to the disease process, doesn't help it. And so we're just trying to rethink and reinvent dental hygiene for humans and pets.
Do you ever discover a fabulous new tool to run your business and wonder why you didn't know about it sooner? That used to happen to me all the time. Luckily, through this podcast, I've asked over 100 women what their favorite tools, apps, and resources are to run their pet industry businesses. I put their recommendations in one place, and I'm so happy that I can share that list with you. Discover over 150 apps, tools, and even the best squeaker to get the perfect doggy photo. It's all in the Wear, Wag, Repeat resource guide. The guide is totally free. Just go to wearwagrepeat.com/guide and you can get your paws on it. Do you have a hard time finding dog mom gear that fits in with the rest of your style? I love my dogs, but I don't want paw prints on everything I own. The Wear, Wag, Repeat shop is full of artist-designed apparel, handmade accessories for you and your dog, and stylish gifts for the dog obsessed. Best-selling products like our Puppy Breath Candle and the Jungle Dog Dress have been featured on blogs like Proud Dog Mom and The Daily Dog Tag. Your dog is already spoiled, so treat yourself. Get 15% off your first order when you visit shop.wearwagrepeat.com and use promo code podcast. That's shop.wearwagrepeat.com, promo code podcast. So you guys are doing a really amazing job, because I was on your website recently, and you were completely sold out.
Yes. Yes.
Which is really awesome. Congratulations.
Thanks.
So tell us the story about that. You had some crazy huge order or
Oh my
something
gosh.
that knocked you out?
Yeah. So, we just launched TEEF in May, and we've had a lot of great reception from big, and recognition from the big groups in the pet industry. But, we're a tiny little startup. There's four of us employees, right? Even though we've been doing the science for 10 years, the commercialization of this is only recent. And our budgets aren't huge, so we're not spending a lot on social media. And we're doing things when we have the opportunity to, and to get in front of people and introduce ourselves to folks. So we interestingly got on a local NBC program here in Minnesota, and in a morning segment on a Saturday morning, and we sold out because of that. Basically, we sold I think over 1,000 units. So we sold out unexpectedly.
Wow.
Yeah. It was fabulous, and tested our ability to fulfill orders quickly. And it spread us as thin as possible, and we had a couple of hiccups, but I think we did pretty well. It was a good test run.
I think that there's something that I've heard people talk about before. It's called the Oprah effect. And it is basically this, that like you end up on Oprah's list of favorite things, and then you sell out and you like can't handle the volume of orders. Yeah. And it can actually be like worse for you than beneficial, because it's just so hard to like handle that kind of volume. So was it hard for you to, scramble and figure out how to restock and everything?
Yeah, it was a mass, all hands on deck, trying to get the so we manufacture in the United States through a partner who's got all the FDA certifications, and they've been manufacturing things for pets and people for decades, family owned. And so we were on the phone with them the next day saying, help us, so so they're great. And we've now got 10,000 units ready to go for the next round, to hopefully there won't be too many folks, dogs going without teeth for longer than just, several weeks.
Yeah. No, everyone should go stock up, but don't like order 10,000 units at one time.
Right.
Because you'll give Emily a heart attack.
You'll give me a heart attack. Yeah, because I'm a science geek, right? So this whole operations and manufacturing and production schedules are new to me.
Yes, and it's a lot. It's just a lot to figure out. So, has there been anything? Because I know that you with having the human product and then the pet product, is there anything about the pet industry that is really different from other areas of business?
It's entirely different than the human healthcare market, which is very segmented. And it just, you dress up when you go to conferences or whatnot. And the cool thing about the pet industry is I can wear jeans and tennis shoes and a t-shirt if I want at certain conferences, and
yep, you can have dog hair on your clothes and nobody will judge you.
That's awesome. It's so cool. And everybody is super nice. They've known it's a very small, cohesive group though. So a lot, you definitely don't want to piss anybody off because it's such a small network of folks.
It's a small world.
Yeah. And, I don't know. It seems kind of like a family. I really dig it. I got to tell you. And everybody, people who like animals tend to be really cool people. And so you get a lot of those folks in a convention center or, across a table from you when you're talking about a business deal or like how to co-brand or market something for an event. And it's just a lot more fun, honestly.
Yeah, I think it is a really fun industry to be in. And there's just so many startups like you, and people are doing like really innovative, really cool things. And it just seems like everyone's just so excited about what they're doing that it's just so high energy and awesome.
Yeah. And I think that's super, super cool. The one thing that's interesting though is, there is this new newly emerging group of us that are coming in from very different places into the pet industry through, I came from human healthcare, for instance, and other people are like programmers coming in or gamers, right? Doing video games for cats, for instance. And so there's this influx of brand new energy and people. And it's a more diverse population of new entrepreneurs coming into the pet space from both a ethnic and geographical and gender. And so the old regime are still there and still in control of things. But it's interesting to see this push and pull that's going on right now in the space.
Yeah, the disruptors. Yep. You're one of them.
I'm trying.
For sure. Okay, I think I can hear some little squeaks coming from someone sitting next to you.
Yeah, that's Cashew.
Tell us about Cashew.
Oh, Cashy. He is, so I had him sequenced, and he is a mutt of mutts. He's a bit of...
Wait, what is that means that you had his DNA done?
Yes, I had his DNA done.
Okay.
And
sorry, I don't know the science.
Sorry. Yep. He's been sequenced. Basically, my entire family's been sequenced. So we know our genetic predisposition for things. For him, he doesn't have any genetic predisposition for any diseases. So that's fabulous.
Oh, wow. Wonderful.
Yeah, but he's let's see, he's about 25% German Shepherd, and then he's over 20% Pit, over 20% Lab, and then he's a whole bunch of other things like Rottweiler, Boxer, Australian Cattle Dog. He's just perfect.
Aww. Yeah. And how long have you had him? How old is he?
When I moved from the Bay Area to Minnesota, I lived with random people, crashing on friends' couches and stuff because I didn't have a place to live yet. And So I was staying with a friend in her room, renting a room from her, and she decided to foster puppies. There was a special litter and a mom that were at a kill shelter in Houston about a year ago, actually. And they were, they only had a few days left before they were going to be euthanized. Cashew was one of them. They named all the puppies after nuts. So Cashew and Filbert.
Oh my God.
Went to my friend Sherry's, and I was living there, and I just fell in love. And so as soon as I got a house, I was able to then rescue Cashew, and the rest is history.
Aw. And what kind of stuff do you guys like to do together?
We just, we like to go, I'm going to take him snowshoeing for the first time tomorrow.
I'm jealous. We've gotten like no snow this year. I used to take my old dog snowshoeing all the time, and it was really cool. I'm excited to see what happens with you and Cash, but she got really smart, and she would like walk in my footprints when she got tired.
So smart. Yeah. So, he loves the snow. It turns out whenever I have to go shovel, he's just, it's like a gazelle jumping in the, it's really cute to watch. But he and I, we like to take walks. He loves his walks. Dog park. He's really good at playing fetch, surprisingly. Didn't have to teach him how to release. He just drops it.
Good.
And he's just, I haven't taught him yet how to swim. So that's on our agenda for this coming summer, to go to a couple beaches and see how he does. But yeah.
Oh, that's exciting. And is he an official like tester for teeth and new innovations?
Yes, actually we're working right now on a treat that's so I want to feed bacteria, right? So we're actually building a treat for the oral bacteria in the mouth of a dog that looks like a treat for a dog, but it's going to actually feed the bacteria.
The good bacteria.
Yeah, it's going to be a prebiotic treat.
Oh, neat.
Yeah.
And so they'll kind of like chomp it up, because I've seen prebiotics, but they're all kind of targeted towards digestion and everything. Yep.
So this is all, the goal is to dissolve it as fast as possible in the mouth. So most of the reason why you can't, for instance, sprinkle teeth on dogs' food is because dogs just woof it down, right? And it goes immediately in the stomach, and it didn't spend much time in the mouth. And so our whole goal is to do slow release or fast dissolving kinds of things with our approaches that basically continually bathe those microbes with this beneficial prebiotic that we've come up with. So
And are the like the prebiotics that feed the good bacteria in the mouth different than the prebiotics that feed good bacteria in the gut?
Yes.
That was a mouthful.
Yes, they are. Yeah, you did well.
That was hard to say.
You did so well. So a lot of the beneficial prebiotics that have been identified for lower GI or gut health are actually a lot of fibers or fructooligosaccharides. So sugars and fruit-based derived sugars are good for gut health. They'll promote, a lot of fibers are great because they'll promote the growth of Clostridia, beneficial Clostridia strains and things like that that are associated with, gut health. In the mouth, it's different. You want to actually stay away from sugars and carbohydrates and you want to go more towards proteins, which favor healthful and beneficial microbes in the mouth and below the gum line.
That's so interesting. So you're kind of trying to engineer this new treat that just dissolves
super fast. Yep.
In their mouth.
Yeah,
that is so.
But you're still then able to get that reward based, hey, I feel good. I gave my dog a treat, kind of a thing. You feel good because everybody loves to give treats, and so it's like, okay, well, let's come up with treats that are actually built the right way for dental health.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it can kind of be a supplement to putting the teeth.
Yep,
water
exactly.
additive in the water.
Yeah, because we found that the more frequent a dog drinks the teeth water, the better and faster you're going to see the results. So that means we've got to come up with a couple additional products that really, expose these microbes throughout the day to these ingredients.
Well, and I think they probably would work together really well because usually treats make you thirsty.
Yes,
so
that's exactly it. Yeah.
It'll send them back to the water bowl.
Pretty much, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, well, this is so interesting. I can't wait to see everything that you come up with. It sounds like you've got a lot of ideas to grow your product line and make dogs healthier with everything as well.
Well, that's our goal. Dogs lose about a third of their lifespan if they don't have good oral health. So, and it is way more than just plaque and tartar. It's the gum tissue itself, which is the secret barrier that helps protect the dog against.
Yeah, and
bugs.
I never see anyone talking about that. Gum health does not seem to be a buzzword that you usually see.
And that's when I'm working with vets to try and change the language, and it's an education for all of us. I'm just diving in because I almost lost two of my best friends, my grandmother and my dog. So I'm all about, hey, let's force the conversation. Let's rethink how we think about dental health and dental testing and all of that. So work in progress.
Yeah, well, it's really awesome. It was a pleasure to have you on the show, and I hope that everyone listening learned a lot. Where can they go to find out more about TEEF?
Yeah, so you can Google TEEF, T-E-E-F as in Frank, or you can go to our website, teefhealth.com.
Okay, awesome. Thank you, Emily, so much for being on the show.
Thank you so much. It's been a pleasure.
What did you like most about this episode? Find me on Instagram at TMystic and let me know what intrigued you or what questions you have about starting or growing your own dog-inspired business. You can also screenshot this episode and tag me in your stories. I love to see who is listening out there. Some of the best conversations happen after the episode, right? So track me down over on Instagram or join the Wear, Wag, Repeat Labs Facebook group to connect with other dog-obsessed entrepreneurs. And as always, you can find all the links and resources discussed in this episode at wearwagrepeat.com/podcast. See you back here next week.